have any other plans, do you want to join us for Thai food and a Superman movie marathon?
A marathon? Wow, how many Superman movies are there?
You're kidding, right?
You know, I do like the one where Lois Lane falls from the helicopter and Superman swooshes down and catches her. Which one was that?
One. You realize that scene was rife with scientific inaccuracy. Lois Lane is falling, accelerating at an initial rate of 32 feet per second. Superman swoops down to save her by reaching out two arms of steel. Miss Lane, who is now traveling at approximately 120 miles an hour, hits them and is immediately sliced into 3 equal pieces. Frankly, if he really loved her, he'd let her hit the pavement. It'd be a more merciful death.
Master Geek Theater, we're doing the...
I'm going to do a little bit of homework while he rants.
I'm going to talk a little bit about Superman, okay? One of the greatest comic book movies made of all time. Obviously, 1978, Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder. I mean, you got Gene Hackman, for crying out loud. That's a good cast of guys and gals to put...
Who was Lex Luthor? Was it Gene Hackman?
It was Gene Hackman.
Alright.
Marlon Brando.
You'll have to forgive me, my Superman knowledge is not as extensive, as yours.
Oh, that's okay. I can forgive him. Anyway, Marlon Brando, who made like, I don't know, $3 million on the movie and only appeared for like about 2 minutes into the film. One of the things about the Superman series that I really liked is that the first movie really kicked ass. It basically covered all the bases, and it was just a pretty decent film.
I recently checked it out of the library. I didn't remember that it was like over 2 hours long. I still haven't gotten to watch the whole thing. I saw it like back in the 8th grade.
Yeah, I mean the thing was really amazing. You had some great special effects. You had just some great storytelling, and it was pretty faithful. The problem with the Superman series, I think, is, of course, a lot of people blame the Salkinds who produced the actual films.
So let's start with Superman 1.
Yes, Superman 1. Richard Donner directs it. Now, at the same time, he was directing Superman 2. And
I did not know this.
This was a film that was being shot in conjunction with, and what ended up happening was they had finished Superman 1. They were still already about 3/4 or halfway through production of Superman 2, and there were some creative differences between the Salkinds and Richard Donner, which ended up in having to leave the set. Basically, they canned his ass. Then they threw in this new guy, Richard Lester. He was more of a comedy director, and
perfect choice.
Yeah, basically.
Superman
2. Okay, so anyways, they fire Richard Donner, and they bring in Richard Lester to direct the rest of Superman 2. Now, of course, there was also some stuff they could have kept in Superman 2, but they didn't. Like, there was a scene with Marlon Brando in it, actually, in Superman 2. That was cut. A whole bunch of stuff with General Zod was taken out. The original ending of Superman was removed and moved to something else. And basically, it was just a comedy farce, almost, they tried to turn it into. Now, the third one,
It's not that I don't like the third one. I don't know what it was doing.
they were supposed to have Brainiac in the third one. That was the original plan.
I did not know this either.
So, guess who they have instead of?
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Scary choice.
Well, I mean, you know, as far as supervillains go, I really don't think the guy from Running Scared was a good choice. Anyway.
That was a good fucking movie, though. Yeah!
That was directed by Richard Lester, and they turned into a big, huge thing where a computer was fighting and trying to take over the world.
Anything you tell me to tell it to do.
Of course, Superman has to save the day, and there's this big, huge computer game that apparently goes off on it at the end of the film, and it just looked bad.
War Games.
Yeah, I know. It was like a total ripoff of War Games. I mean,
it was first, though.
I think War Games came out first. No, wait a minute. I take that back. No, that was the movie that came first. But War Games was much better. It had a better computer system.
It's Superman 2.2.
Now, getting down to business.
So then came Superman 4. And this was the quest for peace. And this movie just blew.
Effective immediately, I'm going to rid our planet of all nuclear weapons.
Here's the thing, though. The special effects were kind of bad.
Kind of bad.
Yeah, it looked like they did the green screen of the public access TV station. Also, the Salkinds kind of screwed up with Supergirl, which was...
I liked Supergirl.
I liked Supergirl, too. I think it was pretty good. But hearing some of the things that they wanted to do with it, I don't understand why they didn't.
Example.
Alright, first example. Christopher Reeve was supposed to be in Supergirl, okay? And he was supposed to play that mentoring character, similar to the line of Jor-El and Superman, which I think would have been really good. The other thing that they did was kept with the original costume. They were going to come with a whole new costume for her, but then they decided, okay, we're just going to stay with the classic.
What were they going to do?
They were going to have her wear a headband and some other stuff. It was going to be white, and it was more along the lines of what the animated series costume looked like, with the
Animated
white.
series at that time?
No. There was a white shirt and a bandana, and her thing was going to have the Supergirl logo. There were just a few things they wanted to do with the film that they didn't do. Now they did the Superman Returns.
Didn't see it.
And they decided in Superman Returns, since the Salkinds have completely pushed aside and they're not longer part of the project, that they were just going to reset from
Did they
Superman
do all 4
2.
of those?
Yeah, the Salkinds were the producers of those shows. Lester did 2, 3, and well, Donner did 2 as far as I'm concerned, but Lester kind of picked in, and Lester did 3 and 4. They reset it from Superman 2, and at the end of and they tried to use the Richard Donner cut as a base for where to come from, and on the whole, it was pretty good.
I didn't know that either.
I'll be honest with you, it's tough to fill in such a typecast role like Superman, especially like if you're going to pick it up from the person who's well regarded in it, like Christopher Reeve was when he did it. I mean, that's a pretty tough job to take off from.
What's the opposite of Christopher Reeve? Christopher Walken.
Ah! That is a bad joke. Oh my God, Superman fans are probably going to want to kick your ass now. They're all going to come after him.
But it's Christopher Walken. Wow!
But anyways, now after Superman Returns, well, it didn't really do as well as the box office, and I liked it, like I said. Now they're going to do a total reset called Man of Steel. That's the next movie that's coming out.
I did not know that.
Yep, and it's going to be a complete reset from start to finish, apparently. Any more details about the project, I really have no idea about, but
That's why they made the internet.
that's why they made the internet, so we could all watch Ain't It Cool News and hear about all these people who supposedly have inside information about films and what's coming down the line. That's my Superman rant for tonight.
Yay.
Yay.